There are two kinds of people in this world, the ones who follow the grain and the ones willing to go against it. Welcome to Against the Grain. Business lessons, life, and liquor served one cocktail at a time. Tonight's drink is poured. Let's see where the conversation takes us.
All right, welcome to Against the Grain. Hey, we're here today. We're primarily going to be talking about product placement, drawing inspiration from Chapter 7 of my new book, Against the Grain. And let's get started with some introductions. We have another guest with us today, so it's not just the Jon and Nic show today. But let me say hello to Nic first. Hey, Nic.
Hey, what's up?
How you
Coming
doing?
to you live from St. Louis.
Live from St. Louis. All right. Well, we were talking earlier, and I was suggesting that you find a way to get some ribs while you're out there. I don't know if you're going to be able to pull it off, but I hope you can.
I've been browsing.
Yeah. But our guest today is Ryan Berry. Ryan is the founder of Berry Digital and has some other things going on along with it. And so welcome to the show, Ryan. Appreciate you taking some time to be with us.
Thank you.
So Ryan actually was a guest on a previous podcast that I had years ago when I launched my first book, Business is Art, and I had a podcast by the same name. And Ryan and his partner were guests on that podcast as well. So that's been a few years, though, Ryan.
Do you remember, John? I was thinking about this on my way to the office today. I brought my daughter with me at that time. It was Chris and I, my business partner Chris, and I had my daughter, and we've got pictures in the studio over there. And she's probably 7 or 8 years old, I would say. I mean, she's young, and now she's living in Columbus on her own, 21 years old. So I was just thinking, wow, how time flies since the last time we spoke on that podcast.
Yeah, sure does. Sure does.
Like hell.
Well, welcome to this podcast. So, like I said, today our inspiration is Chapter 7, product placement. So let's start by I'll share with you all what the SIP out of Chapter 7 is, and that is that products gain power when they move from visibility to utility, which is just a kind of a fancy word of saying, don't just have them kind of show up in the background, actually show them being used some way or another. And so that's the SIP today. So speaking of SIPs, let's get this out of the way too. Talk about what we are enjoying today, either cocktail or not. So Nic, what are you having?
St. Louis tap water.
St. Louis tap water. That sounds delicious.
Could be dangerous.
You're a lucky guy. Lucky guy. Is it straight out of the Mississippi?
I hope not.
All right, Ryan, I know you just got back to the office, so you may not have anything. Do you have anything?
I made up something just for you.
All right.
Because I don't drink alcohol, but I have a mocktail that's my go-to that I created right here. And this is it's Monster Energy drink over ice with some grenadine in it. And this will probably go viral now for you, and you'll get a ton of views wanting this recipe. But this right here is my go-to anytime I gotta put something together for something like this. What I put together.
There you go. Looks good. Sounds delicious. Nic will probably be trying that out. He loves his energy drinks. So.
Not as much as I love coffee, but I do. It's a lot quicker. I feel like the caffeine hit is quicker off of an energy drink.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. More of a punch too. So how you feel about grenadine?
I'm a fan.
You're gonna love it. I'm just warning you. You're gonna love it. Just call it the Ryan Berry. When people ask you about, you ever heard of the Ryan Berry? Let's just make it go viral.
Having the Ryan Berry. There you go. That's a good thought. All right, guys. Well, I'm having a Mountain Shine. It's pretty simple. It's Mountain Dew and some grain moonshine with a little bit of lime juice and a squeeze of a lime wedge in there. So that's what I'm having today. And I'm having it specifically because we're talking about product placement, and I've got my Mountain Dew right here and showing some utility in my drink. So let me just say cheers and hand it over to you guys if you have anything you want to chit chat about while I'm having a little sip.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. So, Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and some of the things that you're up to?
I don't think we have enough time to go through all that. So I explain myself as an entrepreneur. I've got a digital marketing company that that has helped my community in Champaign and Logan County kind of better connect businesses, organizations with our community that's been around for we're coming up on 15 years. That's my, I guess, my main gig, Berry Digital Solutions. I got lots of side quests, so I'll talk about my most current side quest. We actually just got in the newspaper business. So the Belfountain Examiner, who I grew up being in that publication, went out of business at the end of last year after being, it was family owned for 155 years. And they went out of business. And so I got pulled into some meetings and some brainstorming about doing that. So we now have the Logan County Chronicle, which is a weekly publication there, and also a digital presence that we're kind of building a little media company to kind of fill in that void.
So Ryan, on purpose, by design, keeps it local. Really, all the work you do is all local, like you said, in that Champaign County and Logan County area in Ohio. And I did kind of took kind of a similar approach, Ryan, in the book. I've got this fictional distillery, the Champagne Shine Distillery, that I use as an example throughout. And everything, from the name of the distillery itself to the products that it would produce, all have local names, nomenclature, and a little bit of that shared throughout the book. So
That's awesome.
I can relate to what you do. And then we've got Nick here, who is a lifelong resident of this particular area, so he's got a lot of ties as well. So,
Sure do. Yeah, I mean, my dad for the longest time did most of his farming in Logan County.
Yeah, being a West Liberty guy, it's always, going back and forth between those two counties, being on the county line. So it's been fun to go, you know, create an impact in the counties that I grew up in as well. It's kind of a cool full moment, thing. I feel like I still, my business partner and I will sometimes have conversations of like, we own the local newspaper now. Like how crazy you would have ever thought that
It
could have,
is crazy.
but it's just approaching things the right way, caring about local is absolutely what I'm all about. And if we see an opportunity to make something better in the community we grew up in, that's how we pay it forward.
we backpedaled a little bit on subject matter on this particular episode. Not the subject matter, but just our approach to it. We just this past weekend we're on a family vacation together. Nick and his wife and kids and my wife and myself um, up in Lake Michigan. And we thought, if we have time at the Airbnb, it might be fun to just go ahead and record this episode. And it's all about product placement. So just every once in a while, I'll have Nick's daughters walk past with some sort of product or another, just to be kind of cutesy. But I got to tell you, I was a little concerned that if we did it, that it could get out of hand very quickly.
Well, with one of them in particular.
I wish I would have known that. I would have had one of my boys just randomly coming behind me here with some kind of random placement unknowingly.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, you two guys probably have more real time, real life experience with product placement than I do, because most of my career has been B2B type of businesses, and you guys are more direct to consumer types of businesses. So I don't know, Nick, what do you have any kind of favorite campaigns that you've ever been a part of where you have
Hmm.
used product placement to help bolster sales?
Well, I mean, only every single day. I mean, if you can get a product in a customer's hands, you're going to get a sale.
Mhm.
That's, I mean, pretty much sales 101. So yes, I mean, we try to place product in customers' hands all the time.
That's
Um,
physically placing it in the hands, though.
correct.
Uh, so what about kind of the more subliminal type of messaging?
You would be surprised how often people buy the phone that you have just because you have it. We give manufacturers to give us free phones sometimes, and that's 100% what they're after.
And iPhones, particularly, you see them everywhere, right? They're in movies and TV shows and commercials, people using them on social media, and other brands as well. But so I'm just picking iPhone, because that's what I have. And, it's an automatic, sort of not just visual but emotional and mental thing that is triggered with the viewer, right? They see somebody using this device and it's pretty cool and it's doing some pretty cool things, and it might not be a commercial for that device whatsoever. It could be for something entirely different, or like I said, a movie, and it just happens to be used in a scene or scenes, and it makes that person think, "Gosh, I want to get one of those."
I actually do have an example of that.
Yeah.
When I think it was Iron Man 2 came out in like 2010 or whatever, it's a long time ago. We used to have this LG flip phone that would tee out. Like you'd flip it sideways and there's a keyboard underneath it, but it looked like a T. And it was not a very good phone. Did not sell very well. Nobody wanted it. And then Tony Stark used it in the movie, and I literally had people coming in asking for it.
Uh-huh.
And it was a phone that we just never stocked because it was so terrible, and we had to start stocking it. So
That's perfect example.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting too, because Nick, you are in an industry where you're selling devices and a service that enables folks like Ryan to be in business, right? So let's flip it over to Ryan and talk product placement in your line of work.
Yeah, I mean, I can even, I could take a couple different angles on this, but I think that, to me, the ultimate goal of, I'll take my marketing brain of this and say, like, whatever you can do to make people feel like this product can solve their problem, placing it at the right time or the right place for that. So I'll give you a good example on the newspaper industry. We created 10 sections of our newspaper. It's a 40-page paper. We've got an auto section, a faith section, obviously a community section. We've got a home section, tech section. And what we found is that people that are interested in those pieces are a direct connection. We should place that advertiser's ad. If you're trying to hit people, if you're trying to sell houses, you should be right here on the front of the home section. If you're a healthcare provider, you should be right here in the health section where people are trying to stay healthy and look for tips and tricks to stay healthy, and placing the brand in front of the audience of what they're actually trying to do. I think oftentimes businesses just think that I'm trying to solve this problem for everyone. iPhone is a great example, John. Like, if you think about the iPhone, when's the last time you saw a commercial or an advertisement for the iPhone with someone talking on the phone? Yeah. The original use of what it is, of why people think they need an iPhone. If you ask most people, they say, I need to be connected. I'm in an emergency. I need to be able to call somebody. That's not what they market. They're marketing feelings. What else? What other problems can they solve? How easy is this to connect with my best friend? Can I hop on a FaceTime call? They're showing you all the other ways that they can solve your problem, because they already know you're going to choose something for the original one. Their iPhone isn't any better necessarily than an Android device on calling somebody, solving that problem. They're focusing and placing their things. The Iron Man is perfect. Like, hey, if Iron Man's going to use this, if Tony Stark's going to use this, what other things could this solve for me? He knows, he's thinking about all these other things. So yeah, product placement is extremely important across all industries that I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll tie this into distilled spirits as well, since that's kind of the example that I use throughout the book Against the Grain. James Bond with the martini, shaken not stirred, and so for a long time, decades, martini was like the sophisticated drink that the man in the suit, has, and then the television series Mad Men came on. Right, and John Hamm, main character there, and many of the others in that show drank bourbon, and the show became popular, and so all of a sudden, bourbon kind of re-exploded, because it had been whiskey and bourbon had been sort of a drink of choice for a long, long time, and then the James Bond martini effect hit, and bourbon kind of took a back seat, and then Mad Men came out, and bourbon became king again. So it's all the same thing. Is people see that, they're not watching for that, but they see their favorite character or whatever utilizing that product, and it just triggers something in them, and they're like, I want to do that too.
Yeah, I mean, didn't that happen with Cosmos and what was that one show on HBO? Sex and the City.
Oh. Yes, Cosmopolitans. Yes,
yep.
Yeah, same things. Yeah. So, yep. So, trying to figure out a way to tie this into our friends from other planets, Nick, and I'm struggling a little bit.
You could
Maybe.
mention the website. Maybe that would help you jog your memory.
Yeah, I do have a placeholder for that. I'll just go ahead and do it now since since you mentioned it. So, for those of you listening or watching, we'd appreciate it if you went out to champagneshine.com. That's CHAMPAIGN shine.com. You can get some updates on the book. You can take a look at our other episodes of the podcast. You can take a look at blog posts, articles, etc. Love to hear from you. Love to get your ideas. Anything you might like us to talk about. So that's champagneShine.com.
This week, the first 3 people to sign up will have a signed headshot from Edward James Olmos.
From Edward James Olmos.
Yep.
All right. All right. Explain that a little bit.
He's an actor.
Yeah. What's he do? What's he famous
What movies is Edward James Olmos in? I don't remember. I'd have to think about it.
Caught you. I caught you,
I'm
Nick.
looking. You didn't catch me.
I caught you.
Let's see. He was in Miami Vice, Battlestar Galactica, Blade Runner.
Was this a Google product placement, Nick? Where you
Sure.
use Google?
I did just Google that, yeah. But I mean,
He was the dad in the motorcycle club series, The Mayans, which was a spinoff of Sons of Anarchy. So, FYI. So,
and the other ones I mentioned.
and the other ones you mentioned. That's right. I don't know how we tie any of that to aliens, though. I thought that's where you were going somewhere.
Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, that's the tie. Okay, that went right over my head. So,
well, I didn't know I was doing it till just now. So,
all right. Well, what else can we say about product placement other than, hey, it's a great idea if you have a business, find a way to be where your customers are. Is the way I always hear it, right? You want to be where the customers are. If that's on some social media platform, maybe you aren't personally a user of it, but your customers are, find a way to be there. And you don't have to always be in your face advertising. Find other ways to kind of get that utility, the use of your product in front of people. And that can draw them in a lot faster than just direct marketing can.
E.T.
Oh yeah, Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
They exploded after that movie, didn't they?
Would we even know what Reese's Pieces are if it wasn't for that movie?
Great question.
Perhaps not. I don't know.
I wonder if there was a stat of how many Reese's Pieces they sold in the theater after that, if they saw the increase after E.T. was in the theaters.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure they did, yeah.
I'd love to see that stat.
There's probably some data out there that tells you exactly what happened, but I'm sure there was.
We could do a documentary about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rise of Reese's Pieces.
That's right. The rise and fall and rise again.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let's get to the proof then. So this, again, is coming from Chapter 7. The proof of all of this is that you should study how your customers actually use your product, like we said. Then actively seed new use cases through partnerships, cross promotions, co-creation, do all of those kinds of things. Again, because that organic kind of discovery is a lot slower than intentional placement. So intentionally place your products where your customers can not just see them, but see them being used. That's the utility. Anything to add to that proof, you guys?
I think it's spot on.
All right. All right. Ryan, I don't know if you can hear it, but the music is starting to play, and that means it is time for Nick's Mash. So, Nick, what do you have for us today?
So I this is kind of a story to get to my mash, but I was in Chicago last week, and it was we restructured, whole new team. Half the people worked together for 3 or 4 years. The other half have worked together for 3 or 4 years. So we're kind of integrating, and we're going over things that we used to do previously. And I had the boss tell me, he was like, "Why are we doing that just to do it, or are we doing it to accomplish something?" But he didn't use it in those words. What he said was, "Are we just rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic?" Have you guys ever heard that? That was the first time I'd ever heard that. I thought it
I
was
have
pretty
not heard it
awesome.
put that way. It's good. Well put.
And that kind of changed like my outlook on meetings I have or content I'm sharing or whatever my daily structure is. And John and I were kind of having a conversation before this, and I feel like people get caught in a trap sometimes where they're doing busy work just to be doing something to prove that they're valuable or doing their job. And I just sometimes find myself busy or guilty of that.
So
Yeah,
true.
and that Titanic example reminded me too of we talked about process, and one of the things that always drove me nuts about real process cops, I'll say, is that there was process for the sake of process. It's like, well, this is the
Hmm.
process, so we follow it. Well, why do we follow it? Because it's the process. And that mentality has always driven me nuts. And you still see it. Everyone complains about it, but there are still people that are willing to be out there as leaders that will enforce that, right? And it drives me crazy. But I like that saying though, rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. If you do that, by the way, make sure you've got a wooden one and hold on to it. Don't let anyone else take it from you.
Correct. It's good
Yeah,
advice.
I think that that's also, interesting to think about. One of the things I've learned is that sometimes just doing that with your own processes, your own daily, to your point, Nick, you said you find yourself just doing something to fill in time because you feel like you need to be doing something. I'll give you a good example. I have I've got emails that come and go all day long. In my world, it's a very digital connected world. And I used to just check my email constantly, just seeing what it is, trying to respond back. I was known to be one of the fastest people to respond back to emails, and I was always in my email. And I started just realizing that I was just going. I literally had to take it off my phone for like 30 days because it was a habit of just going in and I would just check my email. No matter all times of the day, it could be midnight. I'm going in just checking my email. And one of the things I did is I forced myself to only check my email on my iPad 3 times a day, and my productivity skyrocketed. I mean, it was just amazing. I realized how much time I was wasting not really doing anything. I realized that, yeah, maybe I had 6 or 7 emails in there by noon and I would go in, but I could knock those things out in the same amount of time it took me to do 1 or 2 as they came in. And I was
Hmm.
so much mental energy to try to do that. So yeah, I think it's not just within team elements. I think that, I agree with you, John. I've been in lots of environments where, it just drives you crazy of like, we do this because it's this way, or this is because of the process. And it's like, well, why did the process get created in the first place? The same thing thinking internally can have a lot of impacts on your own productivity as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a great example because not only does doing things like constantly checking your mail um, cut back on your productivity, it does it exponentially. It's not just, oh, I took a minute to check my email. Um, because what it's doing is it's breaking whatever train of thought you have,
Yes.
whatever you're honed in on, it breaks it. And it takes a while to build back up to where you were. I can't quote any studies for you or any measurable impact. I know they're out there. I know I've seen them before. I just can't remember what they are. But it's exponential. Somebody stops by and says, "Hey, can I bug you for just a minute?" It may be 60 seconds or less that they talk to you, but you've lost far more than that because you've got to get back to wherever it
Great point.
was that you were, and that can take some time.
Sure. Plus
All
the
right.
time you wasted, you got to add to the end.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So just a ripple effect. So, all right, guys,
It's been mashed.
consider it mashed.
All
All
right.
right. That brings us to the end then. So thanks, Ryan, for being here with us. Appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you for
for
having me. This was
your
a
excellent
blast.
mash, Nick.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll see you guys.
See ya.
See ya.
Business lessons, life, and liquor. Until next time, stay honest, stay curious, and never be afraid to go against the grain. And remember, life's about choices.